Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss the topic pregnancy and embryonic development from the chapter human reproduction, totally from the NCERT, right? Okay, let's start. As the NCERT says that after implantation, I hope you already have seen my video of implantation. So, what is implantation? The embedding of the blastocyst into the uterine wall. So, after the implantation, the finger-like projection appear on the trophoblast layer, which is the part of the embryo, the outer layer of the embryo, or of the trophoblast called as chorionic villi, which are surrounded by the uterine tissue and maternal blood. Okay, the chorionic villi and uterine tissue. Yes, the chorionic villi is a part of is the finger-like part of the trophoblast. Now the trophoblast का जो chorionic villi है and the uterine tissue become interdigited with each other and jointly form a structural and functional unit between the mother, obviously, and the baby, like the developing embryo, that is the fetus, and the maternal body. And that particular structural and functional unit between the baby and the mother is known as placenta. Now, the placenta. What is placenta? The placenta facilitated the supply of oxygen to the baby from the mother, nutrients to the baby from the mother, right, to the embryo, and also the removal of the carbon dioxide and all the excretory or other waste materials from the embryo to the mother. The placenta is connected to the embryo uh, through through an umbilical cord. Yeah, we know that the umbilical cord is the connecting unit between the mother's body. We can say that between the placenta and the baby, like the navel of the baby has a connection of umbilical cord, and this umbilical cord helps in transport of substances to and from the embryo, right? Substances to the embryo like nutrients and blood and oxygen, etc., and from the embryo like the waste materials, right? Now the placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue and produces several hormones. As you guys know that the human chorionic gonadotropin, as we know that we say the chorion means placenta, and the chorionic villi is the part, the finger-like part of the trophoblast. You must just distinguish these two things in your mind, right? So whenever you see the chorionic term, you just have to like remember that this term has come from the placenta. So the human chorionic gonadotropin means the gonadotropin means LH and FSH, which are not released by the pituitary, anterior pituitary, but by the placenta. So that particular thing will be called as the human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, human placental lactogen. This lactogen has a function just like the prolactin from the anterior pituitary. Both the lactogen and the prolactin help in the formation of milk in the mammary gland alveoli. And the estrogen and progesterone, as you guys know, that the estrogen and progesterone are not only released by the ovary, but if the pregnancy occurs, then the instead of the ovary, the human placenta start releasing these things. In the latter phase of the pregnancy, a hormone which is known as relaxin is also secreted by the ovary. And as you guys know that relaxin is secreted by the ovary as well as the placenta, right? Here in NCERT it has been written that relaxin is secreted by the ovary. Okay, which helps, as you guys know, which helps in the relaxation of the pelvic region and dilation of the pelvic region, the pubic symphysis, in order that baby should come out easily, right? And no such complications are shown in the delivery of the baby, right? Now let us remember that the human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen, and relaxin are produced in the woman only during the pregnancy. This is very, very important line of NCERT. It has been asked so many times in the MCQ examinations of the various test series of coaching centers, right? Otherwise, the estrogen and progesterone, these two things are like always formed from the ovary, right? Okay. In addition, during pregnancy, the level of other hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and yes, this is very, very important that the thyroxine, which helps the differentiation of the baby part of the developing baby. So the mother thyroid gland start producing more and more thyroxine, and if this thyroxine level is like not reached up to a sufficient level, so the baby body would not be able to like differentiate, and the baby would be like born without hand or without developed legs. These complications, or even if the external body parts have been developed, the baby would be mentally retarded, so that the cretinism has this cretinism is the disease in the early fetus and the newborn babies, which is caused by the low level of the thyroxine hormone in the maternal's blood in the mother's body during the pregnancy, right? Okay, so let's discuss that the level of other hormone. It can be asked that which hormone will be present in the blood in very high level during the pregnancy. So you have to answer the estrogen, the progesterone, the cortisol, which is formed by the adrenal cortex part of the adrenal gland. And even if they ask that, no, tell me that even in the cortex which part, so you have to tell that zona fasciculata produces the cortisol because it's the glucocorticoid, prolactin and thyroxine. These hormones are like increased by several fold in the maternal blood. Like if you compare a woman's blood uh, when she is not pregnant, then the level of prolactin will be very low, thyroxine will be very low, estrogen, progesterone will be very low, cortisol will be very low. But if you compare a woman's blood level of estrogen or progesterone or cortisol or uh, thyroxine or prolactin, then it will be very high. Like increased production of these hormones is very essential. Why the hormones increase? Because they are very essential for supporting the fetal growth and the metabolic changes in the mother as well as the maintenance of the pregnancy. Okay, just see this picture. This is the placenta's villi, and as you know, the placenta is formed by both the mother and the baby, right? So this side is the baby's side of the placenta, and that particular side is the maternal side of the placenta. Okay, and the placental villi, as you guys know, villi is the finger-like projection. So placental villi has the chorionic villi from the child side. Okay, okay. So So just see the other parts. This is the cavity of uterus, as you guys know. This is uterus. I don't think this is a topic to be explained to the biology students who have reached like studied whole human reproduction. Okay, this is the umbilical cord, as you can see, and umbilical cord contains the nerves, the blood vessels, right? So it has been written that umbilical cord is with its vessels, and this particular thing is the embryo, which is like developing right now. And this particular thing is the plug of mucus in the cervix so that the baby doesn't come out, and this is very thick plug. Okay, and this plug comes out only during the parturition, that is the delivery of the baby. Immediately after the implantation, the inner cell mass, as you guys know, that the blastocyst has the central cavity which is known as blastocele, the outer layer of cell which is known as trophoblast, and the inner cell mass. And as you guys know that I've already told you that the inner cell mass will form embryo and not the trophoblast. Trophoblast will be used in the formation of the villi, the chorionic villi. So immediately after the implantation, the inner cell mass, that is the embryo, differentiates into the outer layer which is known as ectoderm and inner layer which is endoderm. As you guys know that when a zygote, when a sorry not zygote, when a ova is being fertilized, a zygote is being formed, and now cleavage happens in the zygote. So zygote goes from the one cell to two cell to four cell to eight cell, and eight cell to 16 cell stage. So as you guys know that the 8 to 16 cell stage is known as morula, and it still is present in the case of the fallopian tube. And when it exceeds from the 16 cell stage, that is up to the 32 cell stage, the formation of blastula occurs, which converts into blastocele after blastocyst after blastocele is being seen in the blastula. And the blastula, after being implantation, converts into gastrula, and the gastrula has these three layers: the ectoderm, the endoderm, and the mesoderm. As you can see that it has been written that outer layer ectoderm and inner layer endoderm has been formed first, and then the mesoderm appears after the ecto and endoderm, between both of them. So as you guys know, they are talking about the enterocoelom. We know that the coelom is of two types. The true coelom is of two types: the caecoelom and the enterocoelom. So in the case of caecoelom, the mesoderm is already present, like it is formed with the ecto and endoderm. But in the case of the enterocoelom, the endoderm gives rise to two balloon-like structures which ultimately develop into the mesodermal layer. So this is very, very important, and the NCERT has indirectly told you that in the case of us, or in the case of the higher vertebrates, higher chordates, the true coelom which has been observed is the enterocoelom and not the caecoelom. And in the case of enterocoelom, endoderm forms first and then it gives rise to the mesoderm. Okay, these three let give rise to all the tissues organ in the adult. As you guys know that the ectoderm gives rise to our nervous system or our skin, the endoderm gives rise to our gut, the midgut, and the mesoderm gives rise to all the connected tissue like the bone, the blood, the cartilage, the lymph, etc. Right? It's need to be mentioned here that the inner cell mass contains certain cells which are known as the stem cells. Yes, we know that some of our cells are totipotent cell, and that's why they're known as the stem cell, which will give rise to all the tissues and all the organs of our body. Now, what are the major features of the embryonic development at various months of pregnancy? as you guys know that we in the NCERT it has been told that एक महीने के बाद क्या बन जाता है, 2 महीने के बाद क्या बन जाता है, 3 महीने के बाद क्या बन जाता है, 5 महीने पे क्या बन जाता है, राइट। तो ये सारी चीज़ आपको याद रखनी है। तो आप जानते हो कि चूंकि जो जेस्टेशन पीरियड होता है वो 9 महीने का होता है। ह्यूमन प्रेगनेंसी लास्ट 9 मंथ। डू यू नो हाउ मेनी मंथ्स pregnancy lasts in the dog, elephant, and cats? You guys have to find it out on your own, right? Find out. Okay, this is your homework. In human beings, after 1 month of pregnancy, the embryo's heart is formed. This is very, very important. If we have to check that whether pregnancy has happened or not, the doctor uses the stethoscope after 1 month to check the if the heartbeat is like being heard in the stethoscope, right? So within 1 month, the first organ which is formed is the heart, and it start beating as well. Now, the first sign of growing fetus may be noticed by listening to the heart sound carefully through the stethoscope. Okay, by the end of the second month, the fetus develops the digit and the limbs, and by the end of the 12 weeks, as you guys know, 1 month has 4 weeks, so 12 weeks means 3 months, first trimester. Actually the human pregnancy lasts 9 months, so there are three trimesters in which the first trimester, first 3 months, means the end of 12 weeks. Most of the organs are formed, most of the organ systems are formed. For example, in NCERT it has been written that the limbs are fully developed and the external genital organs are also fully developed. As you guys can see that the development of limbs started in the second month only, but the fully developed limbs has been observed along with the external genitalia in the third month. The first movement of the fetus and the appearance of hair on the head are observed in the fifth month, right? And by the end of the 24 weeks, 24 weeks means sixth month, right? After fifth, obviously we'll talk about the sixth month, which is the end of the second trimester. The body is fully covered with the fine hair and the eyelids separate, and if the eyelids separate, obviously the eyelashes will be present on them, so eyelashes are formed. By the end of the 9 months of pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed and the fetus is very, very ready for delivery. I hope this was very easy, I think. Okay, so I hope you guys understood the and all the lines from the NCRT, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and just wait for next video because I'm going to discuss the topic parturition and lactation in the next video. Okay, this is also very interesting and very small thing. Okay, thank you so much.